Hello, welcome to St. Peter's in Hove. I'm Father Alexander, and I'm back from my holiday. And here we go again on our 198th step in our walking tour through the Bible. And it's Psalm 131 brackets 132. Now, one keeps on thinking at this stage, we've spent more time on the book of Psalms than on any other book in the Bible, all the other books in the Bible put together. But the book of Psalms really does repay close study and close contact. And I do keep on wanting to leave Psalms out so we can finish the book of Psalms, but I can't leave this one out. Now, this one's an interesting one. Presumably, it is the psalm that they sang on the anniversary of the installation of the ark in the temple. We too, in every parish church, should be keeping the anniversary of the dedication of the church. It is supposed to be a solemnity in the church where the church was dedicated. Some churches haven't been dedicated, by the way, because they haven't been paid for or something like that. I know that our church here has been dedicated because you can see where the walls have been anointed. There are the crosses on the walls, and they're also the places where the candles are underneath those crosses. And presumably some bishop went up, I think it would have been Archbishop Amigo of happy memory, went up on a step ladder, anointed the walls and lit the candles and so on. When this happened, I have no idea, because we've never actually celebrated the anniversary of the dedication of any church I've ever served in. But there you go. We should be doing this. So this is probably for the anniversary of the installation of the ark. And the installation of the ark, the presence of God in the temple, was what made the temple holy. Now, it starts off like this. O Lord, remember David and all the many hardships he endured. The oath he swore to the Lord, his vow to the strong one of Jacob. I will not enter the house where I live, nor go to the bed where I rest. I will give no sleep to my eyes. To my eyelids I will give no slumber, till I find a place for the Lord, a dwelling for the strong one of Jacob. At Ephratah we heard of the ark. We found it in the plains of Yerim. Let us go to the place of his dwelling. Let us go to kneel at his footstool. Go up, Lord, to the place of your rest, you and the ark of your strength. Your priests shall be clothed with holiness. Your faithful shall bring out their joy. For the sake of David, your servant, do not reject your anointed. Okay, that's the first part of the psalm. Now, David rescued the ark from the Philistines, and then it's David's son, Solomon, who installs the ark in its definitive resting place, the temple. Before that, it was on the threshing floor of Araunah, the Jebusite. So those seem to be the sort of things that are being referenced in this psalm. David makes an oath to the Lord that he won't rest or sleep or eat or whatever or go home until he has rescued the ark from the Philistines. So David, in this oath, is underlining his devotion to the ark. Now, what is the ark? Well, the ark is like Noah's ark. It's just a box. And in this box are the relics of Moses. But the idea was that the presence of God was hovering over the ark. The ark was carried around in the tent, the tabernacle, while the Jews were in the desert, and then later the ark was at Shiloh and so on. So the ark is the fulfillment of God's promise that he will dwell with his people. And he has promised us that he will be with us, and his promise is fulfilled in the Blessed Sacrament, which lives in the tabernacle, like the ark of old. Now, so David is devoted to the ark. I think it's obvious, isn't it? We should be devoted to the Blessed Sacrament. If you are lucky to live within walking distance of your parish church, then it's obvious what you need to do. You need to go and reverence the Blessed Sacrament as often as you can. David swears an oath to the Lord. And now in the second part of the psalm, the Lord swears an oath to David. Now this is interesting. It's a reciprocal arrangement. We have sworn an oath to God. We've made our vows to God in our baptism, or they're made on our behalf. And God has made a vow to us. We have adhered to God. God adheres to us. So what is God promising us? We've promised that we will be faithful to God. And what? We'll keep his law. And we'll keep his liturgical laws. In other words, we'll go to Mass. And what is he promising us in return? Well, this is what he promised David. The Lord swore an oath to David. He will not go back on his word. A son, the fruit of your body, will I set upon your throne. Well, that's Solomon and the descendants of Solomon. If they keep my covenant in truth and my laws that I have taught them, their sons also shall rule on your throne from age to age. For the Lord has chosen Zion, he has desired it for his dwelling. This is my resting place forever. Here have I chosen to live. I will greatly bless her produce. I will fill her poor with bread. I will clothe her priests with salvation, and her faithful shall ring out their joy. There David's stock will flower. I will prepare a lamp for my anointed. I will cover his enemies with shame, but on him my crown shall shine. So, what is God promising David? Well, he's promising the endurance of the dynasty. He's promising his presence in their midst forever. He is promising agricultural success. I will bless her produce. I'll fill her poor with bread. He's going to actually look after the people's material needs. I will clothe her priests with salvation. In other words, he will make the priests righteousness through the grace of God, and her faithful shall ring out their joy. In other words, he will make his people happy. Now, that's really quite a promise, isn't it? The thing about the eternity of the Davidic line is fulfilled in Jesus Christ. It's a political promise, of course, when this psalm was written. That's how it would have been taken. We don't need to bother too much about the political side of this promise. But God will fill us with bread, God will look after us, and God will give us joy. If we want to follow the Lord as David followed the Lord, we want to reverence the Lord in his tabernacle, we will receive material blessings. God will look after us. Maybe modest material blessings, but maybe modest material blessings are best. And we will be clothed with salvation. In other words, God will make us righteous through his grace, and we shall ring out our joy. God will make us joyful. That is the bargain that we have with God. We have sworn an oath to him. He has sworn an oath to us. We have promised to him. He has promised to us. God will make us joyful. And the node, if you like, where all this meets up, is in the tabernacle, in the presence of God. God will make us joyful if we worship him in the tabernacle. God will fill us with bread if we are devoted to his presence in our midst in the tabernacle. So this is obviously a Davidic psalm. This is a psalm about the ark. This is a psalm about the temple. This is a psalm also about the church and about the Blessed Sacrament and about the tabernacle of today. It's also a psalm about human happiness. Where are you looking for your happiness? Look no further than the tabernacle of God. All the best. Hope you're well. Bye.